But I got interested in the founders looking backwards and what was their inheritance and how did Adams receive the Puritans, how did he think about the Puritans growing up? And he did write in some interesting ways about the expected Protestant millennium and how the world was eventually going to all convert to the way of thinking that Americans held, which was not Republican political theory. By Republican, I mean a republic. But it was a kind of Protestant society run by well-educated ministers, all of whom had attended Harvard University. And Arthur and James might have liked that vision of the world, but that's not quite how it turned out. And then I spend a lot of time with the early 19th century and the middle of the 19th century saying, well, now you've created the United States, and it's a very large challenge to work a foreign policy, to be this intensely idealistic nation that has never existed, no nation like it has ever existed, with vague and quite dramatic political aspirations, but no clear idea about governance, a very small working government, hardly any foreign policy of any kind. I think the State Department under Thomas Jefferson had 22 employees, and constant calls even then that we had a bloated foreign policy establishment, that these 22 were driving the country bankrupt and we needed to recall our foreign envoys. And this odd dysfunctionality of a country that was claiming to reform all of humanity and couldn't even get its act together to send an ambassador to Paris. And how that story worked itself out over the 19th century. And these occasional hiccups, like Manifest Destiny, which suddenly led to very strong acts of foreign policy, namely the invasion of Mexico, which is an episode in our foreign policy that we don't know very well. They know it quite well in Mexico. If you go to Mexico City, there are a number of museums dedicated to the North American intervention, is what they usually call it. And they know it was a war that they lost against a superior military, basically. But we barely know of it at all. We don't feel badly about it. We don't even know it happened, basically. We just think it's like the second Louisiana Purchase, that we just inherited a lot of land because someone couldn't handle it.